homeowners, it's not a question of if, but when the next hurricane will come. No matter what Florida weather has in store, StormSmart has products that protect every opening of your home while improving the look, feel, and function. From durable aluminum shutters, high-impact windows and doors, to our innovative storm catcher screens, products that enhance the beauty of your home and keep your family safe. Because smart is complete hurricane protection, and smart is peace of mind. Call StormSmart today for your free in-home consultation.
When your power goes out, remember just how inconvenient your life can be. No lights, no refrigeration, no heating or cooling, no electronics. But with a Generac Home Standby Generator, you'll have power when you need it. Our Generac generators automatically provide backup power after sensing a power outage, so your life goes on uninterrupted. Get a free 10-year warranty with the purchase of any air-cooled generator. Call Generac Generators today. Generac Generators. Life is primitive without power.
Streaming from the Tampa Bay 28 Weather Center in Studio A, this is Dennis Phillips Live. Brought to you by StormSmart. Protect every opening of your home. And Generac Generators. Life is primitive without power.
Hey, doing everybody? It is a Thursday night edition of Dennis Phillips Live, and we have a packed full of weather and entertainment and kumquats all in one 30-minute segment. Yes, you heard me right. The Dade City Kumquat Festival is next weekend. Yeah, next weekend. And we're going to talk about that with the folks from Dade City. But before we get into that, if you're watching on the spot, how you doing? Maybe just like flipping through channels like, wait a minute, what the heck is this? Religious inspirational program? Apparently, we were labeled at one point religious inspirational program. You got me. I got no idea why, but that is what we were. And I have actually found out that this show, because we're not technically a news show now, there may be a little bit of a difference in terms of the words that I can use. I found this fascinating. So I don't know if you know how this works, but if you're a news organization, you can say the Super Bowl when you are covering certain events, right? Well, oops, I think I said it, I'm not supposed to. So when you are a non-traditional news show, like I kind of am on this particular show from 7:30 to 8 o'clock, live on the spot, which you may have heard, we are the broadcast home of the Tampa Bay Lightning most games. But because it is not technically a news show, I will be talking about the big game that's coming up. And you may have actually heard that in time to time in different venues. They didn't say a particular two-word description. They'll call it the big game, which I guess is 3 words. Or other things, like you might hear them say the winter games or the summer games as opposed to something else. So I'm learning as I go on this stuff. But tonight, we're going to be talking all about, and I can talk about this, freezing rain, sleet, snow. And I'm going to cut right to the chase here. Well, you know me, I don't hardly ever cut right to the chase. But the Euro is saying more snow next weekend for Florida. Oh, yes, it is. And by the way, I think my new band button was delivered to the house today. Yeah, I broke it last week. So the new one is supposed to be here. Before we get into the weather, let's go ahead and jump in. We've got John, how you doing? Good to see you as always. Debbie in Riverview, North Carolina. Wilmington, North Carolina is in the house. We've got Janet in Daytona, Wendy in Bradenton, Hendersonville, North Carolina with Sandy, Cleveland. So my guess is we've got some people who want to do some talking about snow, about sleet, about freezing rain. Well, who am I to deprive you? Best way to play with this is watch us on TV, OTA 66.1 The Spot. You may have heard we are the broadcast home of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Have you heard that before? We have that on the spot, but at the same time, you can follow along on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or streaming. We are on a plethora of platforms. Yeah, that's some alliteration. We're on a plethora of platforms talking about whatever's going on. And because there are North Georgia's in the house with Eric. So yeah, we got lots of folks here. Pittsburgh's in the house with Shelley. All right, so let's just, we got lots of folks in here, lots of things to talk about. Dade City's in the house, home of the Kumquat Festival, I might add. All right, here's what we're going to do. Let's jump right in, and we are going to start with some model data, okay? Because this is actually a serious weather situation brewing. All right, we are going to start, let me get the right mouse here. We are going to start with the GFS, okay? Here's the GFS, and this is Friday morning. I'm just going to show you a broad look at the national picture. Then we're going to dive into the local stuff. So the GFS continues to show snow across Kentucky, West Virginia, ice and freezing rain, central Arkansas, northern Arkansas, snow, freezing rain in through northern Georgia around Atlanta, northern Alabama, northern Louisiana. That's Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Sunday morning, 7 o'clock, you still got all that ice around Atlanta. Yikes. All that ice around most of Tennessee. Ice, not snow. Virginia, snow. But eventually, this is going to lift north and change that snow over to a period of freezing rain. But the GFS is still a little more bullish on snow totals than the Euro. And then it goes out, we get our cold air, and then you get another system. Now, this is interesting, all right? The GFS next Friday develops low pressure in the Gulf, and on Saturday, Gasparilla, look what it has. A front coming through with some rain. Look at the Euro. It's a day behind it, but it's about the same. So this is going to make the folks from the Lightning a little nervous because the GFS does show some rain on the 31st, out by the 1st. The Euro has rain coming in with low pressure coming in on the 1st. So it's a little wave, and then it probably develops as it moves out to sea. But the point is, we have got another blast of cold air that's going to be coming in next weekend. All right, the Euro is a little less bullish than the GFS. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some of the temperatures. Here are the forecast temperatures for Tampa. 70s, upper 70s, low 80s through Sunday. Monday, 62. Tuesday, 55. Wednesday, 59. Thursday, 57. Friday, 54. Those highs are going to be in the 50s all through next week, and including the 50s for the Stadium Series game. All right, temperatures across the southeast. Well, we just kind of went over the temperatures. We're far more interested in the precip. Okay, here are the snowfall predictions with the Euro. You have a swath, I don't get to say that very often in Florida, a swath of 12 inches of snow across central Oklahoma, 8 to 10 inches of snow in northern Arkansas, nothing in southern Arkansas. That is a sharp gradient from snow to non-snow. But you pretty much have a swath, see that? Right there, of 8 to 12 inches of snow from Boston through New York City, through Philadelphia, through D.C., through Pittsburgh. Anybody who lives in that area within red, that is 8 to 12 inches of snow. Significantly less to the south, and you say, well, nothing down here, right? Because there's no snow. Alas, that is not correct, because that will be ice. So let's look at that quickly, all right? Here's the national picture. Ice is whatever color that is, pink. Snow is blue. Saturday morning, 8 o'clock. Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock. Ice from central Arkansas, northern Alabama. Blue, it's snow. Snow, areas in blue, southwestern Virginia. Tennessee, pretty much all ice. Okay? Continues, all ice for North Carolina, South Carolina, northern Georgia. Arkansas changes over to pretty much all ice. at least until Saturday night, Sunday morning. But then, look at Arkansas, changes back to snow for northern Arkansas Sunday morning. Again, this is the Euro. You got that snow moving into Virginia, Pennsylvania, and then New York City's tricky, ice and snow mix, it looks like. Boston, all snow, foot of snow. DC changes over to rain and freezing rain. And Atlanta eventually changes over from ice about Sunday morning, 8 o'clock, to all rain by late morning, early afternoon. And then the front comes through here. And just for the heck of it, before we have our first break, look at the Euro next week. This is Tuesday. This is snowfall. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, next Friday, right here. Next Saturday, look what's coming in from the west. And there is next Saturday, the Euro. Now, do we scoff at this? All right. Yes and no. We know we do not look at deterministic models 8 days out. But you know what? We had snow a week ago in the Panhandle. So why could we not have snow again? We obviously could. All right? So we're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk more about the freezing rain and the ice accumulation in 90 seconds as Dennis Phillips Live continues. Holy cow, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. And Vicky from the Kumquat Festival is going to be on, checking in a few minutes. But I'm already heavy. Thank you for the first break, John and Charlotte reminder. So here, let's go ahead and pop your questions in now, and I'll look at them. And we're back on TV in 1 minute. But yeah, I mean, it is going to be, here, let's go ahead and look at the, let's go back to actually look at the ice, because I really think that's probably the best one to look at. Where is that? There's my zoom thing. There's the northeast. Let's look at the northeast snows. All right, here we go. So here's a good look at the northeast snow. All right, we're back in 30 seconds. Here's your northeast snow. Okay, so this is Sunday night, Monday morning. Notice New York City, that's a mix. That's ice and snow. It starts as snow on Sunday afternoon, mixes and changes to a combination of freezing rain and snow, and it stays kind of freezing rain for a while. So that's an absolute mess. All right, hold on. We are back on TV in just a couple of seconds. Back in 3, 2. Welcome back to Dennis Phillips Live during our commercial break. And again, if you have friends, family who live up north, or you just like to laugh at the people who live up north while we're at 80 degrees and they're getting snow, that's fine too. You can follow along on Facebook, answer your questions. I will do my best. Laura is saying, is Auburn, Alabama still in the ice line border or in the clear? So let's go ahead and look at the southeast and see where it all looks. I've got so many tabs open. I know that makes some people very nervous. All right, here we go. So let's go ahead and take this up. And all right, so there's Saturday. All right, that's snow. The only snow, look at where that looks like that's north of Auburn. So it looks to me like it's going to be more ice and less snow. That's what it looks like to me. And we do have, hold on, where is this one? This is the northeast. So this is total snowfall. There you go, folks. There's the number right there. For folks who want to know how much snow the Euro is predicting from the Appalachians, the Mid-Atlantic to the Northeast, there is your map. Read it and weep. Or rejoice, because some people love snow. Love it. Now, here's the thing, guys. Our TV show tonight is going to be really, really fast-paced, and we have our interviews as well. So I'm going to stay on after 7:58 when streaming and TV goes and answer all your questions. So hang in there if you want to have, and I will answer them all. So whatever questions you have, feel free to check in. 7:58 on, I will be here to answer whatever you need. But there is a look at potential snowfall. So says the Euro. That is a solid 10 to 14 inches of snow from Boston, all of southern New England. New York City is tricky. New York City is tricky because of the possibility, and if not the possibility, the likelihood that we are going to get a freeze. And a freezing rain situation is going to be tricky. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. One more quick break. We're going to come back. And if you're looking for something, if you are not interested in watching pirates come in and interested in an invasion, I think we got something that you might enjoy. And we're going to talk about that coming up in 90 seconds as DPL continues. Okay, and I am now going to introduce Vicki. We are now, there is Vicki. Vicki, how are you?
Good, good. Not thrilled about that forecast, but good.
Yeah, it is by no means set in stone. No, because you're next weekend, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Same
okay.
day as Gasparilla.
That's
so
what I thought.
Really
Isn't it usually the same day as Gasparilla?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We like it as an alternative for folks who don't want to, like you said, go watch the pirates. They can come to Dade City and cruise all of the merchants and all of the booths. Buy some kumquats.
Yeah. All right, so we're back on TV in 40 seconds. And so, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a segment with Vicki. We're going to talk about the festival in Dade City. And then after the last break, we'll then continue with all the Q&A. And I'll be here as long as y'all want answering questions, because I know we have a lot of folks. Right now, the only folks watching are streaming and social. But I know we have a lot of folks who are interested and want to know what's going on with the ice and the snow. There's going to be a lot of power outages in northern Georgia, a lot of power outages the Carolinas, probably going to have 1 to 2 inches of ice, so it's going to be really rough. All right, we are back in 8 seconds, and we're going to talk Kumquat Festival in 3, 2. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Dennis Phillips Live, and right now we have a guest from Dade City, Vicki Wiggins. And Vicki is the grand poobah of the chamber in Dade City. And you guys and we were talking about this a minute ago, this is an alternative if you're not in to watching the pirates and all the debauchery and everything that's going on in Tampa. And it happens the same day every year, right?
It does. It does. It's specifically same day so we can give people an alternative.
All right, so tell the folks what exactly, we've got some video I'm going to show here. Tell the folks all about the Kumquat Festival in Dade City.
Great. So we have lots to do. So we have over 300 sponsors and vendors who will be bringing all kinds of arts and crafts for people to shop. We've got kumquats, and you can make all kinds of things with kumquats. You can make pies and ice cream, jams, jellies. We even have a guy who does art with kumquats. We've got honey, beer, gin, candles, sangria, lemonade, tea, mojitos, peanut butter, flan, cake, you name it, you can use a kumquat with it. So in addition, we've got a car show that's been going on since the early 2000s. That's a sanctioned, I don't know if it's called sanctioned, but it's judged. It's a judged car show. Mm-hmm. So there'll be lots of prizes that they give out. They've got some beautiful cars that they're bringing out. That runs all day on Saturday. We've got the local quilters, East Pasco Quilters Association does a quilting competition and show. And there's some beautiful, beautiful quilts that people will bring out and display.
So is this only on Saturday? And tell us how to get there and what time it's going on.
So it's 9 to 5 on Saturday the 31st. Mm-hmm. You can come up 75 and then just get off on 52. Or you can come up 301 and come in through the southern part of town. I would recommend 75 because we have the new 52 that comes into Dade City, and you will avoid a lot of lights if you come 75. That's the easy way in. There's plenty of parking on the ancillary parts of Dade City, especially if you come in 52. Lots of parking on the outskirts of town. And we have such a big footprint that you really don't have to walk very far to actually be in the festival itself. We take up the entire footprint of downtown Dade City.
Do you have a website?
We do. There's information on eastpascochamber.org, and we also have kumquatfestival.org.
Now,
Both
I'm
of
going to be
those-
honest. I was talking with Wendy Ryan. Because I was mentioning that you were going to be on the show. Wendy and I have not had a kumquat before.
It's a small little fruit. Anywhere that you use regular other citrus, you can use a kumquat, but you eat the whole thing. So you rub it in your hands to get to activate all of the juices, and that sweetens it up. And then you just pop it in your mouth and eat it.
Now, can you buy them at the grocery?
Grocery, probably not.
Okay.
But you can buy them at the Kumquat Growers. They do an open house on Thursday and Friday prior to the festival. They'll also be at the festival selling the fruit, selling the puree, selling pies, the trees themselves. If you want to grow your own, you can buy a tree and do all of that. We do have some of our local merchants have the products all year round. So Florida Cracker, the Farmhouse Restaurant, lots of merchants in downtown Dade City do carry products year round.
So
and what they tell me
they
is
grow
that
there. I mean, there's kumquat farmers in that area.
Yes, we actually, St. Joseph is on the outskirts of Dade City. They are the kumquat capital of the world. They have so many plants, and they've been doing this for such a long time that they've been named the kumquat capital of the world.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Well, so it's next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday, and the website again?
It's eastpascochamber.org or kumquatfestival.org.
Kumquatfestival.org. Great. Can't wait. You know, I've wanted to go, and I don't know. You know, you were talking about the fact, a little concerned about the weather because she heard the forecast on Saturday. We'll have to see how it goes. Is this rain or shine?
It is. It absolutely is.
Well, let's hope it's shine and not rain.
Yeah, we want it to not rain. So I like that Euro model you were just talking about where it brings the rain in on the first. Let's do that.
Yeah, but the Bolts wouldn't be real happy about that because then they got the outdoor hockey game on Sunday. So let's just hope it avoids us entirely.
Let's do that. Although we need the rain, but let's push it off as long as we can.
Well, thank you very much, Vicki. I appreciate you stopping by, and good luck next weekend. I hope everybody has a chance to stop by if they're not going to do the pirate stuff. I've heard a lot of people I know who have gone and they loved it. It's very family friendly.
Yes, it is. We have last year I think we had 40,000 people here, so there was a lot of interest, a lot of things to do, a lot of things to see and eat.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. You have a great night, and we'll see you next weekend. All right,
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, so that is awesome. And I've heard so many people talk about that in the past. I've never had a chance to go out there. I want to one year. I don't know if it's going to be next weekend, but that's on my bucket list. All right, so we have one last break, all right? We're going to come back and we're going to talk more about the ice, the snow, our cold, and again, we will continue on streaming, or rather on socials after 7:58 when we're off on TV and streaming. So we'll be back in our last segment on DPL in 90 seconds. This is the third, that was the third break, right, guys? Yes, Randy said third break. Charlotte said third break. Yes, Debbie said third. See, this is what I need you guys. And I'm going to tell you, a couple days ago, you guys were slacking. I'm just talking, and I don't see break anywhere, and all of a sudden it's already like we were off or something. And the other thing I always forget about is when we're not on TV, but we're on streaming, it's 58 and I'm just talking away and boom, it just goes away. So I try. On TV, I've yet to mess up. I've always been out. And we have not frozen today yet either, have we? We have not frozen. So that is a good thing. Okay, so again, guys, we're going to be on for the next 6 minutes. Well, I'm going to stay on social. And TV is not watching right now because they're in a commercial break, okay? We're going to give one more overview. And then I will answer all your questions. At that point, I will just start looking and answering all your questions for as long as you need. Because I know there's, I just had a question about Albuquerque, and that's one that we don't normally get. So I will talk all about it. We'll be back in 15 seconds on TV. Kevin's still dreaming about those tacos. That's right. Taco Fest is on Saturday in Pinellas County. We had them on yesterday. All right. We are back for our final segment in 3, 2. Welcome back, everyone, to our final segment of Dennis Phillips Live. We are live on the Spot, 66.1. We are live on streaming, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and obviously, I was just talking to one of my coworkers who's been around here as long as I have, for 30 years. And, we were talking about how in this time of the year, it's usually not a lot going on with the weather. But obviously, this weekend, that is not going to be the case. It is it's going to be a rough one. And what makes it rough, Marisol is asking more about power outages. Yeah, look, snowfall usually is not something that leads to major power outages. The reason we get power outages, and we'll go ahead and show you the map if I can find one. This one. The reason that we usually get power outages is because of freezing rain. Now, when you look at this map right here, that purple color is freezing rain, except it was until I just took it away. There it is. All right, so that is at, what time is that? That's actually next Friday. So let's go back. There we go. All right, there's Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. The purple color is freezing rain, okay? So here's the thing about that. For folks who don't know the difference, living up north, you probably do. Sleet is frozen precipitation. It all starts as snow. If it melts a little bit, because there's a warm inversion layer up here, and then it falls into colder air again, which can happen. It refreezes, it turns into sleet, ice pellets. Freezing rain is snow, obviously, it's cold all the way down, up and down, it stays frozen. You get your crystals, it's snowfall. Snow, most of the time, most people out there like snow. If you live up north, you're like, all right, I'm going to stay at home. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to be okay. Power doesn't normally go out. Freezing rain is another animal entirely. Freezing rain is a liquid, and it's a super cooled liquid. So technically, it is in liquid form, yet being super cooled, it is below 32 degrees as it's moving. So two things can happen. One, it can be right at about freezing and make contact with ground or power lines or trees that are below freezing and instantly freezes on contact. That's where you get that glaze of ice. And what happens is the ice glaze builds and builds. The more that falls, gets heavier, and trees fall down on power lines or power lines collapse. So that is why freezing rain is far worse than snow in terms of power outages, right? So when we take a closer look again at this, and let's go ahead and call up the southeast. And I'm just going to look here. Let's just call this one up. And instead of temperatures, let's call freezing rain. All right, so here is the freezing rain forecast for the southeast. All right, this is Saturday morning, 8 o'clock. All right. This is Saturday night, 8 o'clock. Freezing rain. Look at the areas that you're interested in. All right, look at where you're interested in and look at the map. There's Saturday night. All right. Sunday morning, 2 a.m. Sunday morning, 8 a.m. That is all freezing rain in the purple color. 2 p.m. on Sunday, freezing rain. Freezing rain through Sunday night, and then it lifts off to the north and off to the east. Again, the national picture, this is the snow prediction, a solid band in this area in red of 8 to 12 inches of snow. That appears to be a really good bet in that area. All right? And that's it. So we will be on again tomorrow. I don't remember if we're on the spot tomorrow night, but if we aren't, we will be on streaming and Facebook. And tomorrow, no guests. We are just going to talk weather and specifics. We're answering all your questions. Now, if you're watching on the spot, thank you very much. If you need to have questions answered, flip over to socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We are answering all your questions on that. Have a great night. Thanks to the folks at the Kumquat Festival, and we will see you on tomorrow night's edition of DPL. Got out, I think. I think I got out. I'm looking at the TV. Boy, that was close. It might have been DPL, and then it cuts. I don't know. It was close. Okay, so now we are able to answer questions, okay? So, From right this second on, start asking your questions, and we will. Here, I'm going to show you another map actually, and then we will go. I'm going to go ahead and advance through these maps. This is the drought numbers. They're the same as they were before. No changes there. Any freeze warnings for Lake Wales next week, Jeffrey? I think there probably will be. I think there probably will be. How cold will it get in Tampa? BC wants to know. Highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s. What to expect in Rock Hill, South Carolina? Okay, I tell you what. Let's go ahead and advance. How much snow in Tulsa? Oh boy, these questions are coming fast and furious. 1 to 2 inches of ice in Knoxville. I don't know where Griffin, Georgia is. Tell me, like north, south, east, west. Yeah, Charlotte, they asked me to do that as well, to go to the top of the Skyway, and I never got around to go, and I wanted to, but I could never work my schedule out. Yeah, they messaged me about that as well. It's a little elevator, like a 2-person elevator, to go all the way to the top. I got to do that. It sounded like fun, but I kept running into issues with schedule. Here, I want to advance to the maps here. I don't know where Griffin, Georgia is. Atlanta. Now, I do know where Atlanta is, and Atlanta is going to get ice. Lots of ice. So here's a look at the combination. All right, so let's look at ice. So Atlanta gets ice starting around Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Overnight, Saturday night through Sunday morning, Atlanta has ice. Through 8 a.m., and then around lunchtime, it turns to rain, and then stays at rain, okay? Asheville, North Carolina, it's all ice. It's all ice. Starting at about overnight Saturday night, there's Sunday morning, there's Sunday night. Asheville is going to get a lot of ice, eventually ending as a period of rain. Chicago and Wisconsin, they're on the fringe. Wisconsin's not going to get anything out of this. Chicago's going to get a little bit. Greensboro, same thing. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the, here we go. So let's do precipitation type. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and flip over. Okay, not a ton of wind, David. Not a ton of wind. Okay, so here is a look at Friday morning, 8 o'clock. Friday afternoon, 2 o'clock. Saturday morning, no. Friday night, 8 o'clock. Saturday morning, 2 a.m. Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Okay? Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. Saturday night, 8 p.m. This one, yeah, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Again, the red color is freezing rain. The orange color is sleet. The blue is snow. The green is rain. Okay? Sunday morning, 2 a.m. That's all freezing rain in purple. All freezing rain in purple. Okay? 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, freezing rain. Look at the areas you're interested in. That's freezing rain in purple. Rain in green. Okay? And I'll change the parameters of the map in a minute for you. Sunday evening, 2 o'clock, Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock. You see the rain, you see the snow. So Arkansas is going to go from from snow to freezing rain, back to snow. So that's 2 p.m. on Sunday, right? Sunday night, 8 p.m. Ending as a period of snow in northern Alabama and in western Tennessee, Nashville. Rain in Georgia. Rain in the Carolinas. All of this is going to end as a period of rain Sunday night into Monday morning, and then the rain comes into our area. And then look what the Euro does next week. Got to show it. That's Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. The Euro brings more snow into Florida. It just makes me laugh. Makes me laugh. Yeah, this timing of this rain is a little scary because it's getting dangerously close to the Kumquat Festival and, of course, the Stadium Series game. All right, let's call up another map. Here's total snowfall. Okay, here you go. This is good for you guys. Here's the total snowfall in the southeast. So look at the area that you're interested in, and that is the total snowfall. The gray color is less than an inch. So you notice most areas across the south are not going to get a lot of snow. But look at the northeast. Yikes. Look at the northeast, okay? And we'll look at the central as well in a minute. Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, Monday morning. There are your snowfall totals through Monday afternoon. That is a solid band of 8 to 12 inches of snow. Through Kentucky, through Pennsylvania, northern half of Jersey, southern half less, Philly about maybe 6 inches. New York City, 10 or 11, mixed with sleet, freezing rain. The city, it's always tricky because of the warm, you know, the heat island effect. Boston, a foot. All of southern New England, a foot. See it? That's actually through Monday night. It's even a little bit more. Let's look at Mid-Atlantic. Here's the Mid-Atlantic, all right? Look at other areas that you're interested in. Chicago and Cincinnati and all those places. Through Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. Sunday night, 8 p.m. See where it's stacking up? Monday morning, 2 a.m. Monday morning, 8 a.m. Those are your totals. All right, let's look at South Central, Texas. Someone asked about Albuquerque. This is through Sunday. Let's go back. Friday, Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock. Sunday overnight, Saturday night, Sunday overnight. Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. That'll be about it. So that's those ones. Let's go to the Central. All right, here we go. Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Saturday evening, 8 p.m. Overnight, Saturday night, Sunday morning. Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. Sunday night, 8 p.m. This is snowfall totals. All right? Now, let's change it to freezing rain. No, let's change it to like all of it. Where is that? Here's a pre-type. Okay. All right, here we go. Keep it in the same one. Look at it's easier for you guys to see where you're interested in, and we'll show you here. 8 a.m. on Saturday. Blue is snow. Pink is freezing rain. Green is rain. I showed you the snow totals already. Now we're looking at where the ice is. Now let's look at ice accumulations. See if it has. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is something we haven't looked at yet. So here are some freezing rain accumulations. All right, most of this is 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. This is a really good map for freezing rain for 6 hours. Let's switch it to the southeast. Okay. Freezing rain. Here we go. Doesn't have accumulations on this one, though. Unfortunate. It also has a sleet one, too. Yeah, I don't see a total on this one, which is a shame. Maybe? No, don't see it. Okay. All right. And then let's go back to Mid-Atlantic. Let's go to Ohio Valley, too. Here's the Ohio Valley. Freezing rain? No, Ohio Valley's going to be more snow. Let's look at the snow for the Ohio Valley. Ooh, I'd say. Here's the Ohio Valley. All right, here you go. Saturday night, Sunday morning, 8 a.m., total snowfall. Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. Monday morning, 8 a.m., you see that swath of 10 to 14 inches of snow. My boss is going to Cincinnati on Monday. They're going to get a foot of snow. I wonder if they're going to get in. I don't know. It's going to be tricky. Yeah, there that is. All right, let's look at New England. Oh, my heavens. All right, there you go. You know what? Look at them. Look at them, guys. Night, Kathy. Can you show this map with ice, including Houston? All right, Bobby, I will show you Houston in just a second. And I will also show, Beth, I will show Atlanta. All right. There are the predicted snowfalls for all those little cities all over the Northeast. So there you go. And it's almost all 10 to 12 inches. On the Cape, it looks like it's 16. Cape Cod, 14 to 16. That's a great map right there. All right? Okay, now you guys wanted to see ice. Freezing rain. Okay? Very little freezing rain up north because it's all snow. So let's look at the southeast. All right, here we go. Let's look at Atlanta. You know, I'm going to look at the combination because that'll help me determine more how much they're actually going to get. Okay, so you asked about Atlanta. All right, Atlanta starts as a bit of freezing rain, it's pretty light. Then it stays there, and then it turns to rain. So Atlanta's probably 1/4 of an inch of ice before it turns to rain late Sunday morning, and then it's rain the rest of the time. All right, that is Atlanta. A lot of people are asking about Atlanta. Okay. Traveling back to Tampa from North Carolina on Monday. Monday, you say. Yeah, you know what? That's an interesting question because what I think will happen is it will be icy Sunday night, but it will then turn to rain. Watch this. So look at North Carolina. So by 2 a.m. on Sunday night, Monday morning, it turns to rain, and then it's all rain, so that ice will melt. So I think you will be okay. I think you will be okay. I don't think we're freezing at all, Charlotte. I've not seen any freezing. Richmond, Virginia. Now, earlier, the models were saying snow, but then they went to ice. Let's look at Richmond. So, Richmond starts as a period of snow on Saturday night, quickly changes over to freezing rain, whereas Norfolk will have rain right along the coast, as will Wilmington. That's at 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. And the freezing rain continues from 8 a.m. through 2 p.m. through 8 p.m. Oh, man, Richmond is going to get a lot of ice. A lot of ice for Richmond. A lot of ice for all of Virginia. And also the District of Columbia, also Baltimore, that's all ice. Now, it will be snow to start. It's 8 a.m. D.C. is going to start with snow, but then it changes over or mixes with freezing rain by the afternoon, and then becomes all freezing rain, and then ends as rain. Danielle, Euro says snow next Saturday. Yet again, it does. How much snow on Long Island? All right, well, we had that a second ago, but I will show you again. $10 inches. 10 inches of snow in Long Island. All right. Okay. Harper's, Pat, you may not know this, but Harper's Ferry is one of my favorite cities on earth. When I was in high school, I was in choir, and every Christmas we used to go to the little church up on the hill in Harper's Ferry. And if you're not familiar with Harper's Ferry is where John Brown took over the arsenal in the Civil War. It's known for a historical thing. It's right there where the Shenandoah and whatever, I can't remember the other river, meet up. But there's this little church on the top of the hill. It's the cutest little town. And we used to always put on a Christmas concert. Every year, my high school's choir, we would go from Fairfax to Harper's Ferry and put on, and it was it's so gorgeous because it's dressed up. I mean, decorated like Christmas and everything. One of my favorite memories as a kid in high school was going to Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. It is awesome. I love it. Okay, let's go back. So you want to know where Harper's Ferry is getting? I think they're getting a foot is what we were looking at. Let's go ahead and look to be sure. Winston-Salem, freezing rain turning to rain. Mary Ruth. Yeah, Harper's Ferry. Look, all of West Virginia is 8 to 10. 8 to 12. 8 to 12 for Harper's Ferry. Yep. 8 to 12. I love Harper's Ferry. All right. What else we got? Suncoast Skywarn Spotters used to go to Harper's Ferry. Oh, yeah, it's so awesome. It's such a cute little town, right? I-10 from Florida to Texas for truckers, Sandra wants to know. You will be fine. It will be nothing but rain for the truckers. Just rain on I-10. Just rain. Yes, John. John, it's going to require an inch or two of snow for us to make our caravan. I'm not going to drive up there for a dusting. I'm not doing it, but I will do it for an inch or two. Okay, will it be safe to travel to the Blue Ridge from Florida on Tuesday? Yes. Wait. Hey, look at that. Jody is unhidden today. Wonder why that is. Okay, has a flight from Boston to Tampa Sunday at 2. Ooh. Wait. Hold on, stand by. I got to do one at a time on this one. All right. What was the question? Winston-Salem? Okay, Blue Ridge. All right, Winston-Salem. Where are we going this weekend? Yeah. All right. Winston-Salem, let's look. Okay, here you go. Go ahead and look at the map here. Rain. Okay, here we go. So it is going to be icy Saturday night, Sunday morning in Winston-Salem. You should not go this weekend. You should absolutely not go this weekend, Katie. No. One more no. Tuesday, you'll be fine. It'll be melted by then. You do not want to go this weekend. Will it be safe to travel the Blue Ridge from Florida on Tuesday? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. It will end as a period of rain, and you won't have to worry about it. You'll be okay. All right? Boston. I have a flight from Boston to TPA Sunday at 2. All right? Let's look. Okay. Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday 8 a.m., 2 p.m. All right. That is 2 p.m., and it looks like the heavy snow will hold off until Sunday evening, but there's still going to be light snow. Here's a tough question. I don't know if the airport in Boston, if Logan, will shut down knowing that heavy snow is on the way, or if they wait. I think they can get out at 2 p.m., but the question is, will there be delays because of all the awful weather that's going to be coming in and flights trying to come into Boston from areas where it's already snowing? I don't have the answer. That is a close call. In my opinion, you should try to get out earlier if you can. If not, you might not get out till Tuesday. Because look at how they're going to get a foot of snow. Now, they know how to handle snow up there. They do. But my point is I think you should go a little earlier. New York. When's it going to hit New York? All right. Right there. Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, 8 a.m., it just starts. Sunday afternoon, it gets heavy on Sunday evening. So it starts Sunday morning, it gets heavy in the evening. Wheeling, West Virginia, 8 to 12, Rachel. All of West Virginia, 8 to 12. Worst on Sunday. Hartsville, South Carolina. Not familiar with Hartsville. However, yes, all of South Carolina is freezing rain. I will show you. Or rain. So let's look at the precip type here. Okay, look at South Carolina here. All right, freezing rain. Sunday morning, 2 a.m. Saturday night, Sunday morning, freezing rain. Sunday morning, 8 a.m., freezing rain. Changing to rain by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay? The red bloob is not back yet. All right. Yeah, I can see you. You're not hidden. So who knows, Jody? Maybe you did something, because I didn't do anything. Gettysburg, PA. All of PA is going to get snow. That's an easy one. All of Pennsylvania is going to get snow. I take the, okay. It might start as a period of freezing rain in Philly. See that in southeastern? But where you guys are, Gettysburg, Central and West, all snow. How much, you ask? We'll show you again. 10 to 14 inches of snow in Gettysburg. Woo-hoo, Ski Liberty's gonna be rocking. First place I ever skied was in Gettysburg, outside of Gettysburg, Ski Liberty. Okay. I-95 to I-26, Charleston heading south on Sunday. Nick wants to know. Stand by. All right, let's look at precip type. Okay, so where are we asking? I-95 to I-26, Charleston on Sunday. Okay. Saturday night, 2 a.m. to Sunday morning, 8 a.m., there might be a little bit of freezing rain, but honestly, it looks like the coast, it's going to be mostly rain. So I think 26 is close. 26, you'll probably see freezing rain overnight, and then it changes to rain late morning. Once you get to Charleston, you're home free. Danielle, too early to tell. Don't know yet. Probably, Suncoast Skywarn spotters, probably. Is your fiance good to fly out Saturday morning from Newark? Yes, you are fine on Saturday morning. Maya, you are fine on Saturday morning. That's weird, Charlotte. Don't know why. I'm not seeing any freezing. Okay. Michael, how you doing? Yeah, see, Michael's talking about that Boston. I'm just scrolling down as we go. I know you probably wrote these minutes and minutes ago, but yeah, I think there's going to be delays from Boston. I mean, I think the weather, you will be okay, maybe by 2 p.m., but I think they might cancel just because there's so many delays. Yeah, Charleston, I think you're going to be okay. Columbus, Ohio, Jennifer wants to know. Snow. Snow. Look, watch the Ohio Valley. Here you go. Here's Columbus. Wait, stand by. I think it's all snow. Let me look. Get out of there. Go away. Okay. Yep, all snow. There's a little bit of freezing rain in West Virginia, by the way. And then ending is rain. Ooh, wait a minute. That West Virginia number, central and western West Virginia, it kind of turns to a period of rain at the end. That's tricky. That's a tricky one. I may have spoken too soon about West Virginia. That turns to, oh boy, that's a tough one right there. That could be sleet, freezing rain, rain. But Ohio's all snow. So that'd be 8 to 12 inches of snow in Columbus. Murfreesboro, Tennessee, middle of the state. All right. Let's see. That would be southeast. Yeah. Okay. Murfreesboro, middle of the state. Starts as snow, freezing rain Saturday night, freezing rain or rain Saturday night, Sunday morning, turning to rain Sunday morning, and then probably and then staying rain. Okay, rain. So there you go. Gasparilla next Saturday, Vicki. It's just too early to know. I say that. You're very welcome, Andrea. Yeah, I already covered all of Ohio. Fredericksburg, Virginia. I'll show you Virginia again. All right, here's Virginia. Here's Virginia and West Virginia. So watch this one, guys, all right? Okay. Saturday morning, 8 a.m., still nothing. Snow starts in southwestern Virginia Saturday night. Heavier snow overnight. Changing to freezing rain on Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Fredericksburg still snow, by the way. But then it changes to freezing rain by the afternoon. More freezing rain through the day, through the night, and then ending as a period of rain. What a mess. Cumberland, Maryland. Cumberland, Maryland, snow, 8 a.m. Sunday, mixing with and changing to freezing rain by the afternoon, and then becoming all freezing rain in the evening, and then ending as a period of rain overnight. So that's everything. Almost spilled my Diet Dr. Pepper. How you doing, Yvette? Good to see you. Raleigh. Tanya wants to know about Raleigh. Oh, there you go. So there's North Carolina. Freezing rain Saturday night. Freezing rain Sunday morning. Changing over to rain probably mid to late morning. Raleigh's close, but I think it's going to change over to rain, as will Charlotte, on Sunday evening. That's a tricky forecast. I'm curious what the Weather Service is saying in Charlotte. I'm guessing they're saying snow, changing to freezing rain, changing to rain. Let's see. Saturday. Sleet, freezing rain. Saturday night, freezing rain and sleet. Sunday, freezing rain mixed with sleet. They're keeping Charlotte freezing rain the entire time. They're not changing it over to rain. So the Euro's a little more into the rain thinking, but it's close. I mean, look at it. It's right there. So it could go either way. If you get a day and a half of freezing rain, you're not going to have power for 3 days. There's going to be so many power outages. Yeah, that's good for WISP, though, Suncoast Skywarn spotters. Asheville to Newark, Saturday, 2 p.m., you'll be fine. No worries, Brittany, you'll be fine. Western Mass, you are going to get a lot of snow. Frederick, Maryland, a lot of snow, but mixed with freezing rain at times. Frederick's west, so you probably get more. All right. We've got a ban button time. Time to ban. There's a ban on here, but wait a minute. I don't have a good ban. I'll have to make my own ban. All right. Banned. Yvette's daughter lives in Lewisburg. She is prepared. Snowshoes at 6,000 elevation. Oh, yeah, that can be snow then. All right. So let's see. What else we got here? I think we've covered it all, guys. It's already 8:30. Holy cow. Huntsville, Alabama. All right, we'll go back. I did not cover Huntsville. All right. I think that's more freezing rain, but let's see. Huntsville, Alabama. All right, here we go. Here's Alabama. So mostly rain, ending as a period of snow Sunday night, briefly. But yeah, mostly rain. That's interesting. I mean, it's far enough south, it makes sense, though. Let's see what the Weather Service is saying. They are saying, yeah, mostly rain. A little bit of mix, maybe, but mostly rain. Yep, we are in agreement. Suffolk County, 10 inches, Peter, 10 to 12 inches. Upstate South Carolina, Jennifer wants to know. See you, Debbie. South Carolina is a little bit of freezing rain from, well, no, actually, a lot of freezing rain from Saturday night to Sunday morning, changing over to rain across most of the state by 2 o'clock. So they're going to have 18 hours of freezing rain. And then it'll turn to rain. It'll end as a period of rain. Norfolk. Now, Norfolk's a tricky one. Norfolk's an interesting one. So probably mostly rain because, you know, they're right on the water. But so watch this. So Norfolk starts with a little bit of snow Saturday night, Sunday morning, changes over to freezing rain, and then rain. And then rain, yeah, because, I mean, they're right there on the water. I think I banned somebody. I think I already got them, if that's what you're talking about. Southern Connecticut, 12 inches of snow. Melrose, Mass, 12 inches of snow. Anybody in the Northeast is 12 inches of snow. Springfield, Illinois. Springfield, Illinois. I think we did Illinois, right? Didn't we? Let's do it again. Snow. I think Wendy used to live in Springfield. I think. Wendy Ryan. So there's your snow. Northern Illinois, not much. Central Illinois, 4 to 5 inches. Southern Illinois, 6 to 8 inches. So Springfield, 6 to 7 inches of snow. Okay. North Atlanta, rain, then freezing rain, then rain. I don't know where Brevard, North Carolina is, Valerie, but I will show you North Carolina and you can, let's see. Okay, so North Carolina is freezing rain, unless it's on the coast, and then it's rain. And then it turns to all rain. This is about 18 hours of all rain. Then it turns to, freezing rain. Then it turns to all rain Sunday night, Monday morning. But yeah, North Carolina's going to have a lot of ice. A lot of ice, like all day Sunday ice. Columbus, Ohio, we already covered that one, Elaine. I think that was 8 to 12. Yep, caught an audible, Eric, you're right. Canton, Georgia. I don't know where Dallas to Tampa at 10:30 a.m., Ariana. You got to tell me what day. You got to tell me what day, Ariana. Atlanta's going to get ice, and then it's going to turn to rain in the afternoon on Sunday. I want to know where Canton, Georgia is. Up, here's another spammer. Mark Napoli. Wait a minute. All right, Mark's gone. Okay. Austin, Texas. All right. I still have to look where Canton, Georgia is, Bo. Where'd Texas go? We already showed Texas. Here we go. Austin. Ooh. Now Austin's gonna get some freezing rain, it looks like. It'll end pretty quickly. Let me look here. I'm trying to find the exact, because it's Dallas. I mean, it's outside of Dallas, but. So I think they're going to get rain and then some freezing rain Saturday night and then Sunday morning. So that's what I would say probably, because this is Saturday night. Saturday night, there's going to be some freezing rain, and then it ends by Sunday morning. Maybe it's a brief period of snow. Maybe. Where's Canton, Georgia? Columbia, South Carolina, Cincinnati, a foot of snow. Greencastle, Indiana, 8 inches of snow. What was I just looking for? Columbia, South Carolina. Didn't we already do this? I know we already did all these guys. I know we did. I gotta get my dinner. All right, here's South Carolina. Oops. All right, so there's the snow. I'm sorry, there's the ice. Overnight, Saturday night, Columbia, South Carolina, ice. Sunday morning, ice. Turning to rain Sunday afternoon, and then rain. So ice in the morning, in the overnight, into the morning, and then turning to rain in the afternoon. Cincinnati, a foot of snow. Will the freezing rain make it to Milledgeville, Georgia, southeast of? I think there will be freezing rain in Atlanta. See, right? Look right there. Right there. That is Saturday night. There's your freezing rain. Sunday morning, 8 o'clock, still some freezing rain, and then it changes over to rain, and then it's over. Brevard is in western North Carolina. All right, so let's look. Freezing rain, lots of freezing rain, lots of oh boy. Yeah, Brevard is going to get about 24 hours of freezing rain, and then ending as a period of rain on Sunday night. Ow, my hand hurts. I always break my hand when I hit that dumb thing. Williamsburg, Virginia, Lee wants to know. Dallas to Tampa tomorrow, Ariana, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine, no worries. Lee wants to know about Williamsburg, Virginia. All right, well, all right, let's look. Mid-Atlantic. Okay, so Williamsburg starts as snow Saturday night, Sunday morning. Turns to ice Sunday morning, 8 o'clock. Continues as ice through the afternoon. More ice. Oh, man, Williamsburg's going to get a lot of ice. And then it's going to end as rain overnight, Sunday night into Monday morning. So lots of ice for Williamsburg. Power outages galore. All right. Rick is listening aboard Delta Airlines, a flight from Atlanta to MCO to Orlando. That's kind of cool. Snow amounts for Detroit. That's one we haven't looked up. All right. Great Lakes. Snowfall. Probably not going to get very much. Yeah, 4 inches. 4 inches in Detroit. There you go. But that's the first time we've talked about Detroit. Wayne Warren. Need to drive to Atlanta Airport 6 a.m. Monday. Is it possible? Oh, yeah, it'll be rain by then. Now, see, Monica, that's an interesting question because the weather will be okay by then, but will there be issues because of the... I think Atlanta will be fine by Monday morning. I really do. I do think there will be road closures, Renee. I do. Southern Pines, North Carolina, I have no idea where that is. Not a clue. Southern Pines. Wait, let me Google it. Now you guys are asking. All of Pennsylvania is going to get a foot of snow, except for Philly. They're going to start as freezing rain and then turn to snow. All right, Southern Pines. There it is. Okay. Got it. All right. Southern Pines. Let's see. Only an inch of snow, so it's going to be mostly freezing rain. And freezing rain starting Saturday night, 2 a.m. Freezing rain, Sunday morning. Turning to rain, probably. Close. Rain, snow, rain, freezing rain, real close call right there. Can't answer it for sure. And then ending as a period of rain. Okay. Boston's going to get a foot of snow, Michael. All right, guys. I think that's it. Toronto, Ontario. All right. Okay. Not much. Maybe 3 to 4 inches. Okay, we made it. All right, guys. If you missed any of it, this repeats, and it'll all be on there. Every city on the face of the earth I just covered. So that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow night. We'll do the same thing tomorrow night. I don't think we're going to get much changes. I think the forecast is getting pretty close to being locked in. So if you live in an area that's going to get a foot of snow, lucky you. That's fun. If you live in an area that's going to get a lot of ice, get your bread and your milk and your eggs and all that stuff. And realistic possibility you're going to lose some power. So be extra careful. And if you have a generator, never run the generator inside the home, ever, ever. Run your generator outdoors. Never run in a garage. Carbon monoxide is deadly. You do not want to mess with it. All right? All right, guys. Have a great night, and we will see you on tomorrow night's edition of Dennis Phillips Live. See you guys.